Thinking outside the box and exploring new business strategies has never been more important to salon and spa leaders. And while trying something new might seem like a scary task, using a proven system has helped thousands of beauty and wellness businesses and might be exactly what you've been looking for. And that's what we're talking about on today's episode of Coffee Talk with a very special guest. I'm incredibly excited to be joined by Angie Lund, National Business Trainer of the Eufora International and mediator of the Eufora Salon Owner Network Accelerator webinar. Angie is an extremely successful entrepreneur. She has run and owned several businesses and fell in love with the beauty and wellness industry while owning Athena Salon, Spa, and Wellness.
Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Angie, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm great, Tanya. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to visit with you.
So before we dive into today's coffee talk, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to our MSI YouTube channel so you guys are never without a future coffee talk. Okay, Angie, are you ready to get this coffee talk started?
I sure am.
Awesome. So what is consistency culture?
So consistency culture is the culture that's expressed when all of your team members are performing a consistent guest experience. But it also goes beyond that because it's also the standard that we as leaders and owners are holding our team members to in order to make sure that they're delivering one of the key elements our guests are looking for, which is that consistency.
Excellent. So why is consistency culture important for salons to reach their full potential?
Oh, that's a great question, Tanya. So our guest is looking for four main things. They're looking for consultation, customization, convenience, and consistency. Now, I believe consistency is the most important, and this is why. If we have a consistent guest experience, then our guest is going to know what to expect every time they come and see us. It answers to that need for safety and diffuses some of the fear that we have when we go into the salon. Because if you think about it, it's a nerve-wracking experience, especially if you're a new guest going into the salon. But even as a repeating guest, you're putting your beauty needs into somebody else's hands. And so the consistency helps diffuse that fear that can come along with walking into the salon in the first place. Now, to answer to those four things that the guests are looking for, and again, that consistency being super important, we have something at Eufora called the 8 Steps to Financial Success. Now, this is taught out in our education on both our technical side and on our business side, but it's also something that I did in my salon because it worked miracles in creating success. So let me tell you what those 8 steps are because they're super important to create that consistent guest experience. The first step is the warm and friendly greeting. Now in the warm and friendly greeting, this is where you develop for your team. What's it gonna look like when a new guest comes in or even a returning guest comes in to the salon? How are we gonna greet them? Now the second step is gonna be the dry consultation. Now in the dry consultation, here of course is where you're gonna sit down and visit with the guest and find out what they're actually coming in to see you for. Now, it's not just about what the guest wants here. Here's where we're digging deep with our questions to find out what the guest needs. We're connecting with them. We're allowing that trust to be built in this time. And in order to do that, we have to make sure we're listening and that we're reflectively listening. So we're asking questions back to what it is that they've said to us. The next step, which is step 3, the rejuvenating shampoo and scalp massage. Now we know this is the guest's number one favorite part of coming into the salon. So the thing that we would caution you about here is being careful to give a lot of care to that time. Are the lights dim? Is there quiet music playing? Is there a limit of the talking that's happening? And maybe just focusing on what the shampoo and conditioner are that you're using and why you chose those for them. Now we're going to move on to step 4, which again goes into that customization because step 4 is going to be the precision cut. Here's going to be where you are delivering them exactly what they're hoping to get, right? With that focus on the artistry that you're going to create. Now, because of that, we ask in this step for you to limit the conversation. Make it about them or their hair if you're doing any talking at all, but truly limiting the conversation to focus on the cut. Now, step 5 is going to be the perfect finish. Here's where we take that customization to the next level, because now we're bringing in all of the other things to create the style. Here we're educating the guests on the products that we're using on them and why. We're letting them smell them, hold them, feel them if it works. And then on top of that, we're inviting them to maybe take out their phone and create a video of how you are doing this part of the service so that they can bring that home as part of their styling wardrobe and understand how to recreate the look that you're giving them. Now in step 6, which is the guest consultation, we bring out a beautiful guest consultation brochure that we use at Eufora. Now we actually bring that consultation brochure through all the other steps, but that's a whole nother conversation. But in this part of the service, we bring that guest consultation brochure out and we make sure we highlight or star or somehow let them know the products that we've used on them. And then maybe the order even is listed, where we list them 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, so that they have a complete understanding when they go home of the products that have been used, so that if they purchase them, they know how to use them and when to use them. And maybe if they didn't take them home that day, they remember, hey, I really love the way my hair was styled that day, and I'm going to go back and get this product. They can simply refer to that guest consultation brochure. Then the next step is step 7. Here we're answering to the convenience that our guest is looking for. So what we do in this step is called completing the service. We take the guest up through the shopping area. We grab all of the products that we used on them and we bring them up to the front. We put them out in order of how we use them on them. And then we make sure we diffuse any overwhelm. Because I use 10 products on my hair, from wash to go. And so if somebody put 10 products in front of me, which would be the case, especially if I was a new guest at your salon and I don't use your products, if you put 10 products in front of me, I might have this overwhelmed feeling of not knowing what to purchase because I might not want to purchase them all. So here's where we say something along the lines of, this is not meant to overwhelm you, this is not meant to overwhelm you. What this is meant to do is show you everything I've used on you throughout your service. And if you're only going to take home a few products today, these are the 3 I recommend. And you pull the 3 forward that you would most recommend that they take home. But now that leads us into the 8th step, which also answers to that convenience. And this is booking in advance or pre-booking. And here's going to be where we get answer to that convenience, because we get them to tell us what the best time is on their schedule to get them on our schedule. And we make sure that they understand this is about them getting what they need, so that they see, okay, this is convenient. I don't have to call in later to schedule my appointment. I can do it right now with them. And yeah, you know what? I do really love coming in on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m., which is hopefully what you've dialed into, that you kind of know what their schedule is looking for, and you can help them make that decision to actually get on the books. So in the 8 steps, which is the consistency system that I use in my salon and that we teach others to use in their salons, we've answered to those 4 things that the guests are looking for, which is that customization, consultation, convenience, and then of course, if we deliver this every time to every guest, it answers to the consistency.
So how did you develop your system to help salons drive success?
So the 8 Steps to Financial Success was actually developed by co-founder of Eufora, Don Bewley, and it's over 20 years old. He developed it in his salon and saw the massive success that they were achieving, taught it to other people, and then made it his mission when they created Eufora to teach other salons and stylists how to do this and exercise this so that they could see the massive benefits and the ultimate financial success that would happen from it. Back in 2009, when I opened up my salon, I learned this system and I went into the industry not knowing anything about leading a salon team. And so having this as a foundational system to build off of quickly got us to massive numbers. I was never in the red with my salon, and I'm certain it's because of the system that we created by developing and adopting this particular culture of consistency.
Well, that's amazing. So since you have seen so much success from it, I'm curious to hear from you. What are some of the results that owners can expect with this system?
So the result is ultimately guest satisfaction, which is what we're all hoping for, right? And when our guests are satisfied, we're going to see higher retention rates. Not only that, though, they're going to refer us to their friends and family. So we're going to get high referrals. We're also going to up our retail sales because if you remember in step 7 where you brought all the products to the front, that's going to really increase your retail sales. Also though, you're going to see your pre-booking go up because in step 8, that's exactly what we're doing. So it answers to all of those things that we're wanting to measure within our salon.
Well, I love all of the points that you mentioned. And one of the things that I'm really hearing out of all the little gems that you gave us was a lot of different KPIs. And one of the things that we do here at Millennium is our system is basically all surrounded about growing your business through retention, referrals, and so forth that you had mentioned. So I think that those are all really great points. And I feel like everybody watching today, regardless of what software you have, you want to ensure that obviously they're able to support you not only with these 8 steps that we learned today, right? But also with everything else that you mentioned within these gems. So with that being said, I have one last question for you, and that is, what is the one thing any salon can do today that will help them notice immediate improvements?
Oh, that's a tough question, Tanya, because there's not one thing that I could take out of that 8-step system. All of those steps work and build on one another. So the thing that I could say is that all of your listeners download the 8 steps to Salon Success ebook that we're giving you access to, because that book will allow you to go through the entire system and commit to it. So if there's one thing that I'm going to ask you to do or would tell you that would help move you towards that success, get committed to creating that consistency in your culture within that guest experience, and commit to possibly, well, actually, no, if you're committing, it's not possible. It is a for sure. Commit to doing these 8 steps, because if you do it, I promise you, the results I just told you about, they're going to happen. You'll wonder why you hadn't been doing this for years. So get committed, get your team members committed, get their buy-in, help them understand what the success level can be from all of them personally and within the salon and how happy the guests will be. And then bring it in and adopt that consistency culture for yourself.
Angie, I've learned so much today, and I hope that all of the businesses watching today did too. Thank you so much for being a fantastic guest. As always, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed today's episode and subscribe to our channel so you are never without a future coffee talk and the latest updates from MSI. We'll see you guys next time on Coffee Talk. Bye, guys.